I feel like at the core of it, Taylor Swift was not trying to manipulate anybody into making any sort of decisions on this movie. She just happened to be places around Blake and Justin because she's friends with Blake Lively. And so she read Blake's script and was probably like, I like it, when Justin was there. And I don't think there was anything deeper to it. Maybe in Blake's mind, there was something deeper to it, but I don't think her saying that there was anything deeper other than, oh, I really like what my friend wrote. I want to support her and tell, the person in charge here that I like my friend's work. And I think in the case of Justin asking about, Isabella casting her, it was just kind of like, oh, what do you think about this? And she liked her. And it's not this deep thing that Taylor Swift had this big hand in it ends with us. Otherwise, you bet your bottom dollar she would have been credited way more in the credits because Taylor loves some credit.
You guys won't believe it. There's a fresh twist in the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni legal drama. This case has been heating up for a while, but things just got seriously wild. We've been watching the chaos unfold between Blake and Justin ever since the mess behind the scenes of It Ends With Us went public. And now the spotlight just shifted in a big way. For months, people have been throwing subtle hints, quiet rumors, nothing major, that Taylor Swift might somehow be tied into this madness. And at first, it just sounded like gossip, right? But then boom, her name showed up in Justin's actual legal paperwork. And now, it's official. Taylor Swift has been subpoenaed. Yes, like legally dragged into the middle of all this drama. This isn't just some random name drop. She's now part of the court case, and fans are absolutely losing it. So how the heck did we get here? Let's take it back. In his legal complaint, Justin called out Blake for allegedly trying to grab more and more control over the film. Like, total creative takeover vibes. That's where all this tension started bubbling. And it looks like it's finally boiled over, now with Taylor caught in the crossfire. So here's where things start to get extra messy. The drama around It Ends With Us really kicked off during the infamous rooftop scene. According to the legal docs, Blake decided to rewrite that scene herself and showed her version to Justin for feedback. But here's the kicker. The meeting where this all went down, it happened at Blake's fancy penthouse, the one she shares with her husband Ryan Reynolds. And guess who else was allegedly there? Ryan and Taylor Swift. Yep, Taylor was apparently in the room too. Word is, Ryan was hyping Blake up big time, praising her writing like it was straight up genius. And Taylor, she supposedly said she'd loved what Blake came up with. Major support from two heavyweights. Now here's where things turn tense. Justin initially told Blake that her version was solid, but made it clear that the final cut would probably be a mix of her script and the original one. That did not sit well with Blake at all. According to the complaint, she flipped Henry, going off about past projects where she felt overlooked or not properly credited for her work. Justin also hinted that Ryan and Taylor being there wasn't just casual. It felt more like she was flexing her superstar crew to apply pressure. Like, look who's backing me. Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift both think my version's amazing. That vibe? It rubbed Justin the wrong way, and now it's all playing out in court. Now here's where it really takes a turn, and this part had people talking everywhere. In Justin's legal complaint, he included some texts from Blake, and one of them went viral fast. In the message, Blake said, "If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm KSI, and like her, I happen to have a few dragons. For better or worse, but usually for better, because my dragons also protect those I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. You will too. I can promise." Wild, right? Fans instantly clocked what she meant. Those dragons weren't fire-breathing creatures. They were clearly her famous inner circle. Think A-listers like Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, her gorgeous monsters, who had her back no matter what. So the second Taylor's name popped up in the lawsuit, fans went into detective mode. They started asking, is this gonna mess with her friendship with Blake? Was Taylor even aware that her name was being used like this in legal drama? Did she actually read Blake's script, or is her name just being tossed around without her even knowing? And then, boom, things got even messier. Fans noticed that Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, unfollowed Ryan Reynolds on Instagram. That tiny click set off a flood of rumors that maybe there's beef bubbling behind the scenes between Taylor and Blake. People are connecting dots left and right, and Nori. Last month, reports started flying that Blake and Taylor were hitting a rough patch right as this whole legal mess started heating up, especially after Taylor's name got dragged into the spotlight. Multiple sources claimed The friendship was on shaky ground, with whispers of tension floating all over social media. But just as fast, others were saying they had worked things out behind the scenes. People reported that Blake, 37, still referred to Taylor, 35, as one of her dragons. Yep, that same term from the now infamous text. And in an alleged message exchange included in Justin Baldoni's January complaint.
News for Taylor? I mean, honestly, she's had this experience filmed with time, all on it. Like, she really lived this movie. Yeah, she was a person who shows up.
That Taylor may have had some influence in getting.
Yes, she did. Yeah, I know. I don't even know if I'm meant to be saying it, but I'm saying it. Yeah, she was a helpful part of the process of the audition, which I found out later after I got it, and that rocked my world.
She told me Taylor Swift helped her get the role, like signed off on her audition.
I was casting, and I had actually brought in and showed her casting tape to Blake and Taylor, and they were both like, yes, her. And that's a true story.
I feel like at the core of it, Taylor Swift was not trying to manipulate anybody into making any sort of decisions on this movie. She just happened to be places around Blake and Justin because she's friends with Blake Lively. And so she read Blake's script and was probably like, I like it, when Justin was there. And I don't think there was anything deeper to it. Maybe in Blake's mind, there was something deeper to it, but I don't think her saying that there was anything deeper other than, oh, I really like what my friend wrote. I want to support her and tell, the person in charge here that I like my friend's work. And I think in the case of Justin asking about, Isabella casting her, it was just kind of like, oh, what do you think about this? And she liked her. And it's not this deep thing that Taylor Swift had this big hand in it ends with us. Otherwise, you bet your bottom dollar she would have been credited way more in the credits because Taylor loves credit.
He claimed that Taylor herself had pressured him to accept Blake's rewrites on the film. That raised a lot of eyebrows. The latest bombshell in this Lively versus Wayfarer Studios case? There's talk that Taylor could be one of the big names served with a subpoena. And now that's no longer just a rumor. Blake supposedly always believed she and Taylor would bounce back from the drama eventually, that their bond wasn't completely broken. According to an insider, Taylor was really hurt by this situation and felt caught in a mess that had nothing to do with her. But she was also super relieved when she and Blake managed to patch things up. Even if the trust had been shaken. But fast forward to this week, and things just took a turn. Taylor's team officially confirmed she has been subpoenaed to testify in the case between Blake and Justin. And get this, her team almost never speaks out publicly. So, the fact that they did now, that says everything. This just blew up in a major way. Taylor Swift's team dropped a rare public statement, and they did not hold back. They made it crystal clear that Taylor had nothing to do with the making of It Ends With Us, aside from letting them use one of her songs. That's it. Period. According to a spokesperson who spoke to TMZ, Taylor never set foot on the film's set. She wasn't part of the casting, had zero input in creative decisions, didn't score a single scene, and didn't even see a rough cut of the movie. In fact, they say she didn't watch the film at all until weeks after it came out publicly. And why? Because she was literally around the world headlining the biggest tour of all time during 2023 and 2024. The only link Taylor had to the movie, she licensed her song My Tears Ricochet for use in the soundtrack. And according to her rep, so did 19 other artists. That's it. No creative notes, no behind-the-scenes meetings, nothing more. Her team slammed the subpoena, calling it a move meant to stir up tabloid buzz and drag Taylor into courtroom drama just to grab headlines. They're saying it's all about creating clickbait, not sticking to the facts. Now fans are combing through old interviews from when the movie was first being promoted, analyzing every time someone from the cast casually name-dropped Taylor. And suddenly, all those little mentions are being viewed in a whole new light. So here's the thing. Someone close to the situation opened up, and what they said really hit different. They explained that Taylor was simply around during the whole It Ends With Us process because she was genuinely spending time with Blake. Like, she wasn't playing producer or calling the shots. She was just there, being supportive. The person said, "She was with me, experiencing it in real time. She really lived this with me." But they were also clear. Taylor wasn't trying to sway anybody's decisions or secretly pull strings. She just happened to be around Blake and Justin because, well, she's Blake's friend. So yeah, maybe she read the script. Maybe she said she liked it when Justin was there, but it didn't go any deeper than that. Now, could Blake have seen more meaning in it? Maybe. But even if she did, Taylor showing support doesn't automatically mean she was trying to control anything. It sounds like she just wanted to say, "Hey, I think my friend's writing is great." And leave it at that. As for the whole Isabella casting conversation, it sounds like a casual, "What do you think of her?" kind of moment. Taylor might have said, "She's great." And that was it. No mastermind moves, no secret agenda. If Taylor really had a major hand in this film, trust, her name would have been all over those credits. Because let's be real, Taylor loves getting her credit where it's due. And now that she's been officially subpoenaed in the legal showdown between Blake and Justin, things just got real. This means she's legally required to get involved, whether that means testifying in court, doing a sworn deposition, or turning over any documents connected to the case. Now, it's not 100% confirmed she'll have to show up at trial, but there's definitely a chance. If the court decides her testimony matters, she could be asked to do a deposition, which is basically a formal sit down with lawyers under oath where everything gets recorded. Of course, Taylor's powerhouse legal team might try to fight this, and you can bet they'll push back hard. They've already slammed the subpoena as nothing more than a publicity stunt, saying it's just a way to drag her into the spotlight and stir up drama to get headlines. And honestly, they might not be wrong. Regardless of whether she ever steps into a courtroom, Taylor being dragged into this mess has already turned up the heat. Her name alone adds a whole new level of attention to an already explosive case. And just as all this unfolds, Blake Lively's lawyer, Mike Gottlieb, has finally spoken out again, right as the trial is locked in for March. This thing's about to hit a whole new level. According to People, Blake Lively's lawyer, Mike Gottlieb, isn't holding back. When asked if Blake will testify, he made it loud and clear, absolutely. He called it the ultimate moment for a plaintiff to tell their story in an lie, and said they fully expect Blake to take the stand. So, yeah, she's not just showing up, she's speaking out. But Blake won't be the only one with something to say. Gottlieb also revealed that several people who either witnessed or personally experienced the alleged misconduct will be stepping forward too. We expect their testimony, particularly about what happened on set, to come out through live witness testimony, he said. So it's not just about Blake. Multiple insiders are about to spill what really went down behind the scenes. Right now, both sides are deep in discovery. That's the phase where each party gets to dig through evidence and start asking questions. Gottlieb confirmed that Blake will be questioned, but he also said they'll be flipping the script and grilling the defendants too. And it's not just about what people say. Blake's team plans to back up their claims with receipts. They're coming with documents, emails, statements from producers, and even files from Sony Pictures. The legal team's making it clear this case isn't just built on rumors or he said, she said. They're coming in strong with real evidence and people ready to testify live in court. With this case blowing up all over the internet, Blake's lawyer is now saying the spotlight has shifted way too far from what really matters. According to him, the focus has been hijacked by all the noise, and the real issue is being buried under headlines and side drama. He said, "We think there have been a lot of distractions put up to deflect attention from the retaliation campaign that was launched against her." He claims Blake is being targeted, not because of any creative clash, but because she dared to speak up about harassment. And now her legal team is hoping discovery will finally shine a light on what they say is the true heart of this lawsuit. Not celebrity drama, but serious retaliation against Blake for raising those concerns. And as for Ryan Reynolds, his name keeps popping up, but it's still unclear if he'll end up testifying. Blake and Ryan's legal team are already fighting hard to get the claims involving him thrown out. Will that work? We'll just have to wait and see. This case keeps dropping bombshells every week, and we want to know what you think. What's your take on Taylor's team clapping back? Should she be involved at all? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to share this with someone who's following the drama. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.